My name is JoAnn Rolle. I'm the Dean of the School of Business at Medgar Evers College, City University of New York. I am also the immediate past president of the HBCU Business Deans Roundtable that has been around for over 20 years now. It's indeed my honor and privilege to welcome you here to the Wealth Weekend series of events. Right now, we are having the Kentucky Derby, and that is the first event. The next event is next month, right in Brooklyn, for Juneteenth at Medgar Evers College, City University of New York. And the final in the series, as in last year, is on Martha's Vineyard. A fabulous, fabulous time for all.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Daryl Maxey from Rolling Out Magazine, and I'm privileged this afternoon to have with me the immediate past president of the HBCU Business Deans Roundtable, none other than Dean JoAnn Rolle from Medgar Evers College in New York. And how are you doing, Dean? How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you, Daryl, for the introduction.
Excellent, excellent. I want to ask you right now, we're talking about the HBCU Business Deans Roundtable. Why, give me a little bit about the history and the reason for the existence, the raison d'etre of the HBCU Business Deans Roundtable. What's its purpose?
So as you know, HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities, have been around for years, and the business schools of those universities have been around for years. But what we found more than 20 years ago, that there was more work that could be done if we collaborate and come together. So at that time, approximately 20 years ago, several deans, men and women, came together to form the HBCU Business Deans Roundtable to collaborate and leverage our resources together for the students and the communities that we serve. And since that time, we find that it's even more of a need right now, as we find that DEI and some of the other affirmative actions have been attacked. It's important that we stand together and we lift our voices and the voices of our students to say that we come together in business to do good business and better business. It's not that the HBCU business deans are looking for handouts, but we want to be able to inspire and motivate and leverage our resources so that our students could be very effective in the workplace that they're going out to or the research that they're going to do. So I believe that the institution, the HBCU Business Deans Roundtable, is even more important now today than it was in its very nascent beginning.
Okay, very well, very well. Now, tell me, since we're talking about it being more important now, and you touched on DEI initiatives and how it's being under attack in all sectors. How is that affecting business educations at HBCUs by and large?
Right now, at least at the HBCU Business Deans Roundtable, we're talking about the AI, artificial intelligence, and emerging technologies, and how to get our students to be a part of that transformation and to engage in it so that they could have a competitive advantage and not be left behind in the digital divide. So it's important that as HBCUs, we understand that we can't be complacent, that we can't continue with the existing curriculum as it is, that we have to shake it up to empower our students so that they can be a part of the changing dynamics. And right now, we're not just competing on a national basis. The labor force is fluid. We're competing globally with the folks who are in India, China, Africa. Our major corporations who are in the U.S. are going out. So we have to stand firm and make our own students just as competitive as that labor force that's out there. And I will say the students that I have worked with and that my colleagues have worked with, they have persistence, they are talented, they just need an opportunity, and we have to prepare them for that opportunity so that when they get it, they can effectively win those places in the seats that are coming for our talented leaders in the future.
Okay. And how receptive, how that message that you're trying to get out about being able to compete now. Every time we talk about AI, we talk about artificial intelligence, we talk about the changing landscape. And we're talking about things that aren't way off in the future, in the pie in the sky. We're talking about something that could be as real as 2030, where a lot of things will have already changed. And if we're not already on the front lines of this thing, where we are in very much in danger and peril of falling behind. How, I mean, how absolutely paramount is it that we do now what we can do, not waiting for what's going to happen, but anticipating what's going to happen, not only anticipating what's going to happen, but uh, being ready when that opportunity. You talk about the opportunity; those seats are coming open. Well, anytime when in musical chairs, when that music stopped, if your behind wasn't in one of those seats, you were in a bad way. And so, can we speak a little bit now to the urgency of the moment?
Daryl, you have hit the nail on the head. The HBCU Business Deans have an annual conference, and this June, the whole conference theme is about AI, emerging technologies, and how to prepare our students now. I don't believe it's going to be 2030. It is happening right now where many of those seats are being displaced by the technology. Now, there is a place for those who have done their homework and who've prepared themselves. And a lot of times we do not know. About 2 or 3 years ago, there was not a term for a digital engineer. That is now a term. So we have to prepare our students to learn how to learn. It is not the rote memory stuff of yesteryear. They have to learn how to be agile and to how to perceive what's coming, not what has been. So our deans take it very seriously. Our whole program this June is centered around how can we help our students become more, and it's not just the students, it's the faculty too, because most of the faculty have not been trained on what's coming. They know about what's been. So we have several programs at the HBCU Business Deans now where we're not just working with the deans anymore, and that used to be our model. We are working with faculty. Deloitte has sponsored, this is the second year in a row, for a workshop for faculty on the future of work. Now we have our students coming to our annual conference, and they are actually being coached and mentored by corporation executives who see what's coming down the pike and can help them. So we are changing, and we hope we are changing fast enough so we can adapt to some of what's coming now. We're not waiting for 2030. We can't afford to wait, not for our students.
I hear you. I hear you. And I use 2030 just because it was the next round number to come. But what we got going on 2024, that's an even number too. It's divisible by two. So is there a specific industry or a couple of specific industries where if people are looking to get ahead now, 2024, April of 2024, you're looking to get ahead now, are there specific industries that maybe people, if they really wanted to get ahead right now, should be looking at?
I would say fintech is big. We had AI international people come to Medgar Evers, corporations come to Medgar Evers like 4 or 5 years ago. They were on this, and they wanted our students to be aware because they want a diverse workforce. Many people get it. They understand this is not just about social enterprise. This is about getting the best talent around. And so the best talent is not always in the places that people look. So fintech is very, very fertile for folks to get involved with: the accounting, the finance, the economics, all of those disciplines where they use big data, and they have to analyze big data and come up with solutions to many of the problems, the world problems that we continue to have. I like ed tech. That's the area that I'm working in. I have a new book called Tech Enable Futures, Tech Enable Futures, Elevating Education in Underserved Areas. And it's precisely about that, Daryl, getting it into our academic systems, how the technology is working, and to prepare them before they get out there. By the time they get out there, they have to play catch up. We've got to start that change right in-house. And I don't say it's just in higher ed. I have a granddaughter, and we were talking about some of her stories, and she could tell her stories. I did a text to image translation, and she has now 2 books. I mean, she's 10 years old. We start them young. Yes, she's 10 years old. Yesterday we was at a book signing, and she was right by me signing her book. I'll send you that little from the videos. But they are already, that generation is already tech savvy. And so if you just add a little bit of guidance, a little bit of wisdom, if we do multi-generational work, a lot of times the young people are working by themselves, the middle folks are working by themselves, and the older people, they just put away to the side at some point and said to retire. If we work together, all of our generations, we could really have not just a wealth weekend, we could have a wealth year.
All right. All right. Well, I appreciate the passion I'm hearing in your voice. The information is a godsend. It's a gold mine. You mentioned your book and that of your family. Can you tell people where they might pick that up if they were interested?
Yes. All of the books are on Amazon.com. My granddaughter's book is The Amazing Adventures of Abigail. She has a coloring book and a storybook and an ebook. And I have my book is on Amazon, and it's in hardback, softback, and ebook. And soon we'll have the audio. And it's Tech Enable Futures, Elevating Education in Underserved Areas. And I think if we could get our folks involved in the technology earlier, we can reduce some of that wealth gap that we have. I'm an economist by training, and
Right.
I've done economic development for a long time. And I just see this as an opportunity for us to close that wealth gap.
All right. Well, Dean JoAnn Rolle, I greatly appreciate your time and all of the information. That the stuff is out there. All we have to do is go grab hold of it, and it's not just going to fall in our lap. So I appreciate your time, appreciate your passion, appreciate your information, all of that stuff. I think it will be greatly helpful, and I wish you guys continued success with the HBCU Business Deans Roundtable and the Wealth Weekend series that you got coming up. And so we'll be looking forward to hearing from you in the future.
Thank you very much, Daryl. Thank you for the opportunity.
Right. You take care. Good afternoon. Bye-bye.